Oh, bulleted. Super ball flight. We've got 3 low spin drivers going head to head in this video. TaylorMade Qi4D LS, Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond, Titleist GTS4. We're going to run through all the ball speed, the dispersion, the performance, and let's see which one comes out on top at the end of this video. So 3 low spin drivers from arguably 3 of the biggest brands when it comes to that driver category. So I'm going to start off with the Qi4D LS from TaylorMade, 9-degree head. We've got 2 weights on the bottom of the TaylorMade driver. We've got a 15-gram weight and a 4-gram weight. Now I've got the 15-gram weight positioned forward in the head, so I'm putting this in its most low spin format in terms of a setup. Obviously they can be moved around and put the heavy weight at the back if you didn't want it as low spin, so there's a little bit of that adjustability here with the TaylorMade. Let's get this first one underway. Oh, a little bit low in the face. Just feel that on the strike. That might just pop that spin up a fraction potentially, and it hasn't, so that's really got that spin under control. Even that low strike there, 2000 spin. Again, that's not the best of strikes, but that's flown very straight. A little bit low heel again. And that spin doesn't look, yeah, it's not climbing at all. So really with that weight forward, I can definitely feel, and this is probably the thing when you're putting weight forward like that, you're going to lose a little bit of that MOI, a little bit of that forgiveness, and you can just feel the twist there. They felt a lot worse than what they actually looked, those strikes, to be honest. But again, with that weight forward, you are going to probably feel a bit of that twist in the head, but it does keep a nice control of that spin. So if you are a high spin player, this is where potentially a low spin driver head, and the way you set it up could be a good option. That's much better strike. Obviously a higher ball flight there now because my strike was much better. 12 launch area, that's good. Yeah, 2400 on the spin, good carry there at 281. Okay, so moving now into the Titleist, so the new GTS4. So obviously we know there's a few different models in the Titleist lineup, and the 4 is their low spin head. Now, interestingly, the GTS4 now in this version is a 460cc head. So typically they have been a little bit smaller in the past, maybe that sort of 430, 440cc head size, but now this is a full 460. So in that playing position, this does look very similar to the GTS3, a little bit closer to a GTS2. So it doesn't look super small down there. Great shape with Titleist, as we know. It's a really good sort of shaped head. I really like the look of the Titleist driver. Super strike, but I've just pulled that a little bit up that left-hand side. Yeah, maybe a fraction low in the head, but just cling maybe onto that fairway a little bit there. So on the Solar Golf Club here, we've got that weight in the front track, which can be moved into the heel or the toe. That's an 8-gram weight. I've just got to position that right in the center there, which is neutral. And then I've got that 5-gram weight at the back. So a little bit more weight in the front of this head. So again, this is making it in its most low spin format we can set it up as. That's a good strike. Very similar flight as what we've just seen with that TaylorMade. Does look quite low spin, that, to be fair. Yeah, 2500 on the spin, 281 carry. Nice numbers again. So for me, the big attraction maybe with the Titleist is just the looks of the golf club. Great, simple shaping of the head, very clean on the look. We've got that black gloss sort of top into that black face, just a subtle GTS logo going on there. And obviously with now this split mass, a little bit more of that thermoform carbon in the head now, we'll just get that little bit of a slightly different sound to this now from what previous drivers. Oh, it's bulleted. Super ball flight. Great feel off the face. Yeah, it's a nice shot there. Good strike. Again, nice launch around that 11.5. Just short of 2300 spin, 280 carry. Nice numbers. Okay, so moving now into the Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond. So again, this is their most low spin driver that they offer. We have seen the Triple Diamond Max being introduced into the Quantum lineup, which is basically a low spin driver, but with a little bit more forgiveness. But this definitely is the lower spin of the options that Callaway offer in this Quantum lineup. So we look at the Solar Golf Club. We have got this back sort of plate here now, which we can move that back weight from the heel to the toe, which is more sort of neutral to the fade. I've got it in that neutral position. We have got a little screw at the front of the driver there. Again, this is their low spin head, and probably out of the 3 drivers, this is probably the most, I would say the different shaped head. It's triple diamond's always been, for me, quite sort of deep at the front of the driver, then goes to a real sort of point at the back, and you sort of see a little bit of that shape. It's a little bit more of a triangular sort of shape in the head there, and I think with the satin sort of front section there to then that gloss, beautiful carbon at the crown there, it just really splits the driver up. So quite a deep face. It sits again very, very square. That's a good strike. A little bit of maybe a louder sound out of the three drivers there with a Quantum. Good solid feel to that though. Again, tons of carbon on here, we can see on that sole. But we have got this sort of Triforce face now, the 3 layers of materials on that club face, all trying to get that ball speed up. Oh, it's a little bit pulled up the left. With a lower flight. Very strong flight though. Yeah, just launched a touch slower there, just slightly shut the face. A little bit quicker on the club head speed there actually, wasn't it? Oh, that's a good strike, that's a good flight again. Definitely a slightly louder sound to that against the other 2 drivers. Good ball speed there, 165, 2600 spin. Again, some nice numbers. Okay, so now back into the TaylorMade for another 3 shots. So we'll run through that cycle again. It's a good solid strike, good flight again. It is a good feel off the club face with the TaylorMade, a really good sort of sound as well. Okay, nice one there. Just to finish up with the TaylorMade. Okay, so let's move over now back into the Titleist GTS4. Oh, solid. Really good flight on that. Again, nice launch. 2500 spin, just short of 280 carry. So I think just in terms of like adjustability on these drivers, they've obviously all got the neck sleeve, so we can change that loft and that lie a little bit through there if you really want to sort of dial that in. I think obviously the Titleist and the Callaway have got the movable weights from left to right in the head. Obviously the Titleist is more in the front of the driver head. The Callaway is obviously at the back of the driver head, but there's a little bit of that movement in terms of heel to toe. TaylorMade doesn't have that option in the LS driver. Obviously it's just 2 weights which will go from front to back, flippable. So slightly different on the TaylorMade in terms of the adjustability against the other 2. Okay, and finally moving into the last set of 3 now with the Quantum Triple Diamond. Maybe we'll just take a look at that dispersion ring. The Quantum is leading there, which is the blue shots. I've got another 3 to come, bear in mind, so that might just go slightly bigger in that dispersion, but let's see if that can win in terms of the accuracy. Oh, that's solid. That's flown off the face. It feels fast off the face, that. Yeah, 166 ball speed, 2400, 280, nice again. There's the last one hit with the triple diamond. Again, nice ball flight there. So let's go and look at some numbers and compare those 3 low spin drivers, and let's see which one comes out on top. Okay, so let's have a look at, first of all, the dispersion rings. And the Quantum started off really good, just leaked a couple. Those last 3 just went a little bit more to the right. So I think the white ring there, which is the TaylorMade Qi4D, has actually just slightly tighter on the dispersion on that small batch of shots. Okay, then we're gonna obviously look at the all-important numbers. We can see club head speed pretty much around that sort of 112 mile an hour mark. Quantum was just a little bit quicker as an average against the other 2. Tight's just been a fraction slower. Ball speed wise, again, the Quantum 165.4 as an average was pretty good, and quite a nice tight fluctuation from the highest to the lowest. You can see the TaylorMade was a little bit more, to be honest, I did get a couple a little bit low in the face of the TaylorMade. That's probably just brought that ball speed down a fraction there. Launch wise, again, 10, 10.7, 11, 6. Spin wise, you can see the TaylorMade's the lowest spin out of those 3 drivers, but they're all in a good area there. And probably being a bit more consistent on the spin was the TaylorMade, you can see, and that gave us the best total just under that 300 as an average, but in terms of carry distance, GTS4 was a little bit longer there, just purely because I got that launch in a slightly higher area, which obviously just kept my ball in the air that little bit longer, which gave me a little bit more carry. But all in all, very close numbers. Okay, so there we go. There's the low spin drivers from 3 big brands in that driver category. Very close numbers, as you can see there. Probably going to come down to just getting it set up right for you in that fitting environment, maybe a little bit of personal preference, possibly in the brand, but maybe the looks and the feel, and depending which one you get on with the best as well. Post comments down below, let me know your thoughts on those 3 drivers from those brands. I'd love to hear your thoughts as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.